Hello everybody, it's Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books, and today we're going to do a bit of filming outside in the garden because it's been a lovely few days here. I may well start squinting because the sun's suddenly coming out. It's been really overcast earlier, but yeah, it's shining now, so it's lovely weather. So today is the last day of book Buddyathon, and this is the question and answer section. So part of the challenges for this week is for you to send some questions, bookish questions, to your book buddy and do a Q&A. So this is the Q&A from the questions that Kerry-Ann, who I'm been doing the book Buddyathon all week with, Kerry-Ann from Woman vs Books. So here are the questions. So number one, is there a favourite book that changed your life? Now, I wouldn't say that there's a favourite book in particular, but I would say being able to read from childhood. You know, I could read by the time I went to school at 5 because I used to sit many long hours with my dad, and he'd teach me to read, and that's where my love of books came from. And so having access to a library and saving my spending money up to go to, there was a fantastic bookshop in Rotherham in South Yorkshire where I used to go and buy new books as well. So we're talking now in the late 60s, early 70s, dare I say, and very much Enid Blyton. I must have read every Enid Blyton book going, loads of other stuff as well, The Borrowers, what else, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. And I think it's having the ability to read and drawn into all sorts of different worlds as a child that shaped my life, really, rather than one single book. Book 2, once you read, do you keep or do you unhaul your books? Now that's a tricky one. I decided, I used to keep all my books at one time, and then I was moving house perhaps about 10 or 11 years ago, and decided that I would unhaul most of my books apart from some I got left from childhood, and I regret it. I regret it ever since, because some of my favourites I'm now trying to find in second-hand bookshops, etc. What I tend to do now is books I've really enjoyed, I save, not necessarily by star rating. Say for example, if it's a series like Anne Cleeves, or if we say Hamish Macbeth that I'm reading at the moment, I'll keep the whole series, even if one or two isn't as great as the others. So if it's a series, then I'll keep them all. If it's a standalone book and I know that I'll never read it again, and I don't want to keep it because there's got passages in it that I'd like to reread, because sometimes books can be not all that good, but there's a few really important passages, something that they've got an important message, then I'll keep them. So that, yes, it does vary. And question 3, what buzzwords put you off a book? Sometimes I'm put off by a book if they are overhyped, if they, well, I suppose we could say every time they're up for a prize. If we say Man Booker prize, then I don't rush out there and think, right, I must read all the Man Booker. And I know some people enjoy doing that, that's fine, but I don't rush out to go and get them. I like to read books by the blurb on the back, if they seem interesting to me, or the cover, or yes, if they have been recommended by other booktubers that I watch, and then I'll make my own mind up, because I watch some that you know, really love all the prize, the ones that are up for the long list, short list of various prizes, and I do respect what they have to say, but we're all different. I don't tend to do too well with overhyped books, so yeah, tread with caution. Number 4, what author have you read most books by? Right, so I've split this out really. I put in childhood because that was sort of going back to the 60s and 70s. The most books I read was Enid Blyton. I did read all Rudyard Kipling. I did read all C.S. Lewis, all the children's classics, Alice in Wonderland, etc. But Enid Blyton is the one I read the most of then. In my 20s, really the sort of books that I read then was sort of Jackie Collins, The Stud, and Confessions of a Window Cleaner series. Now, you know, when you're 18, 19, you know, it's classed as new adult now, I think. But yeah, we just wanted a bit of light reading with a lot of sex, I suppose. So yeah, that's what I watched. Here we go again. This is what we get, you see, because we've got a big playfield on the back of us, and Nelson thinks he's in charge of it. So in my 30s, I would say Danielle Steele and Nora Roberts. So I really enjoyed their books at the time, and I think I must have read every one. So that was really enjoyable for me. It's strange how, looking at this, you don't realise how tastes change as you get older. You seem to have different tastes for books, you know, in different decades of your life, I think. Then in my 40s, I would say the most I read was Patricia Cornwell, or the Kay Scarpata series. I don't tend to read them now. I think they've gone very much the muchness, but you know, at least the first 7 or 8 books were fantastic. Peter Robinson, I've read all his all his DCI Banks, loved those. And now I've put, like in my 50s now, I've put Anne Cleeves. As you know, I love the books set in Scotland, in the Highlands, and we've got Jimmy Perez in that series. She's also got a series out with Vera Stanhope that is currently very popular on the TV over here. And the next couple are Sarah Waters. I've read all hers and really thoroughly enjoy her writing. And Joanne I wondered how long it'd be before I'd get it all twisted round. Joanne Harris of Chocolat fame. I've read a lot of hers. So yeah, it changes. You know, I read of such a varied genre now, from literary fiction to cosy mysteries, to middle grade and children's still, so it does vary, but you know, they're just to name a few. Number 5, if you could live in a fictional place, where and why? Well, I would live on the Secret Island, which is the Secret Island from Enid Blyton. I absolutely adored this book when I was a child. I used to pretend that I was going to go on this island with my friends. You know, we could stock up on provisions from out the cupboard and the fridge, and off we'd go, and we'd hide out there and build a campfire and everything, as if it was on a desert island, but not a desert island too far from home. You'd only got to go across a bit of a river and you were there. But yeah, I loved it. That's the place that I always put myself. The other place was Mallory Towers, but I'm rereading those at the moment as an adult, and yeah, they're not working for me reading them as an adult, but absolutely loved them as a child. Yeah, I have something to say about that when I do a wrap up on those. Yeah, I always pretended I was going to boarding school, because you think it's a great place to be, but probably some people that have been in boarding school would say different. So yeah, they're the 5 that Kerry Ann sent to me, and I hope you've had a really good week. Really, those that have enjoyed joining in with their buddies, doing some reading together and discussing various things. It's been a great week. I've loved it. Kerry Ann and I tend to do this on a regular basis anyway, but yeah, it's been a thoroughly enjoyable week, and I will come with a wrap up soon. So bye for now.